Okay, so now that we have all the assessments kind of in line, I want to real quick talk about the grading policy for the course. So, the quizzes are 10 points a pop, the projects are 25, the exams are 100, but how do you turn that into a numerical grade? Well, it's really simple, actually. Mathematically, it's a piece of cake. The reason I make the quizzes 10, the projects 25, and the exams 100 is to remove the need to do a weighted average. One of the things I never understood is if a quiz is worth 1/10 of an exam, why make them both out of 100 points? That doesn't make any sense. So all you got to do is simply add up all the points you've earned and divide them by all the points you could have earned had you gotten perfect scores on your assessments. That's it. And when you do that, you'll end up with a decimal, point something or 1 point something. If your decimal starts with a 0.9 or it's higher, that means you got an A. If it starts with a 0.8, you got a B. If it starts with a 0.7, you've got a C. If it starts with a 0.6, you've got a D. If it starts with anything lower than that, and you failed the course, or you've got an F at that given time. Now, I understand that there are a lot of assessments to keep track of. I promise to get things back to you ASAP. But when I say get them back to you, the lion's share of these are going to be in Blackboard, which we'll talk about in the next video. I also will email out a progress report. This is why it's important you guys check one of the reasons it's important you check your email, because I'll be emailing out a weekly progress report with all the assessments that you have in them contained, and my computation of your grade that makes sure that you guys keep track of how you're doing. Okay? Every once in a blue moon, I'll have some extra credit plopped in certain assessments. Don't expect it, and don't ask me for it. One of the things that drives me nuts is at the end of the term somebody's borderline CB and wants to do some kind of an extra credit, and I can't do that because I need to offer extra credit to everyone, not just to one person. So at any rate, that's how you calculate your grade. Pretty straightforward for the most part. So hopefully that makes sense, and if it doesn't, we can talk about it more in class, but I think the weekly progress reports that you get emailed to you will clear up that for the most part. One thing I wanted to say too, a lot of folks ask me why don't I just use Blackboard's gradebook as opposed to emailing progress reports, and the quick, simple, and easy answer is it's much too complex. The way I grade, having things have different weights, it just can't do it. I don't fit the mold in that respect, so Blackboard doesn't work as well. But the email, one of the comments I get constantly on my student evals is, I'm glad Sean does the email progress report so I can keep track of how I'm doing week to week. So anyway, next up, let's talk about Blackboard and how you actually submit things to me.